Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of That 70's Song Show. This is a show where we, Trimungus, share our love with music, music history, and music nostalgia with you, our viewer. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy this show, and I also urge you to check out our earlier episodes. There's 5 of them. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you have been with us since the first episode, or even, just a few of them, thank you for coming back. We really appreciate you being here. Also, if you're interested, hit the subscribe button, because we do have new episodes planned, and that way you'll be notified when they're out. Let's see. So, my name is Tim. I am here with my fellow Trimungians, Mark and Jessica. Mark and Jessica are the owners of Trimungus, and to explain what Trimungus is, Jessica, will you please do the honors?
Thank you, Tim. Hi, everybody. So we are Trimungus, based out of Middletown, Delaware. We empower businesses, artists, and musicians to tell their stories and connect with their audience through high-quality audio and video production services. Our tailored, creative development solutions bring your vision to life, capturing the essence of your brand and engaging your audience on multiple platforms. That's what we do, and turn it back to you, Tim.
Yeah, and just to sum it up, we want to help you tell your story. That is a tagline we use commonly because we like telling stories, as you'll see today, and we hope that you will help us help you tell your story. But you get the idea here. So also, I'm going to turn this over to Mark now because we've got a trivia game for you in 3 levels, 3 tiers. What's the word there? 3 rounds? 3 rounds we got here. And Mark's going to do some explaining about how we came to the decision to have this game and what we hope you get out of it. Go ahead, Mark.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. Well, we all love music. Music is a passion. It's something that has deep meaning in all of our lives. And so, we as friends routinely hang out and we'll craft playlists from our favorite songs, and we've kind of gamified it over the years. And it seems, it's just natural that, hey, why don't we turn that love of music and that passion of music and our love talking about songs and our favorite songs and all that, and let's turn it into kind of a game show, and this is what we are. So as you said, it's 3 rounds, and I don't want to steal your thunder, MC Tim Master.
Thank you.
But it's we love music. I mean, I've been a lifelong musician, multi-instrumentalist, and it's just something we love. So we figured we'd come together, share our love it, and hope people enjoy the discussion and come hang out with us while we talk about our favorite songs, and hopefully folks will find and learn about some new songs that maybe they didn't know, and will enjoy as well.
Exactly. Thank you, Mark. All right, without any further ado, we'll get on with the game. This is our 6th episode, and every episode we focus on a different year. We're doing for our first season, we're doing all the 70s. We started in episode 1 with 1970, and now we are up to the year 1975. So everything that we talk about in today's episode will revolve around songs from 1975. And I think we're ready to play.
All right.
Round 1, Top 10, Points Explainer. Each contestant picks 10 songs from an alphabetized list of the top 50 songs for that year and ranks them from 1 to 10 as their guest placement. The contestants' song picks are then compared to the actual ranking of the top 50 songs for that year. The relative placement of each song is determined based on its ranking in the top 50 songs for that year. If the guest placement of the song is the same as its relative placement, then the contestant gets 1 point, and half a point if it's off by 1. Any song picked that also ranked in the top 10 of the top 50 songs for that year earns a bonus point. Each song that doesn't get points awarded to the contestants earns the host a half point each.
All right. So 1975, before we begin, any commentary about the list of songs and how you chose it? Do we want to go through any thoughts about that?
Well, we've talked about in previous episodes, and I'll try to be brief because I'd like to get long-winded. My personal strategy for how I pick songs was just when these songs came into my orbit, and when I mean where I was, when it was the first time I heard these songs, and I try to think about the relationship of these songs came out in 1975. If the first time earliest memories I have of a particular song is 20 years after the fact, and it seems like it's really popular, that's going to influence where I would possibly put it in my top 10. as well as it's you know, it's very subjective. So it's based upon, well, I really like this song, so I think it should be number one.
Yeah.
And reality is it could be like number 47, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a game of chance for me a little bit, but it's you know, it's just influenced by you know, the song itself, how popular it was, how I came to learn about the song or love the song or know the song, and kind of went from there.
Okay. All right. Jessica, want to add anything? Or
Yeah, thanks. The thing I'd like to add is that it was very fun going through the lists of each year after year after year and trying to pick them, because you could see so much change happening in the landscape. And, you know, while, yes, I had to pick out songs that I think were the top, like it was, like that was almost the, you know, that was the reason I went into it, but that's not the most that I got out of the experience of rating this, you know, trying to guess what songs are in the top, because, you know, similar to what Mark said, you know, how much I like the song and how much space it's taken in my life will influence where I think it would probably be in that list. So, but you know, that's part of this game, but I just wanted to call out that very fun aspect of kind of going through, it's kind of going through history a bit.
Yes.
You know, it's only one teeny weensy slice, but it's a history that is in around something that is important to a lot of people, music in general. So that was just a real joy to, you know, kind of witness that.
And what I like is year after year, because, you know, it's your more recent memories, of course, are the ones that you can hold on to better, because there's a lot of stuff happened when I was a kid that I don't remember. But as you go through year for year, it gets closer and closer to you, sort of. Like the songs become more recognizable. You remember that year a little better. You know, when we get to the 80s, if we get to that, there's going to be a lot of personal teen year things that it's going to be so much more clearer to us than stuff that happened in the 70s. So I like watching that trending and just the connection of those two things. You both chose 5 of the same songs this time. All right, I'm going to start with Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. You both put it at number 6. So thinking alike here. It was number 39 on Billboard's chart, which puts it pretty low. And so technically it would turn it at the bottom of both your lists, so it would be number 10. Yeah, so no points for that one, but kudos for thinking alike, I guess. There's, you know.
Okay.
All right, so whatever, Tim. Anyway, next is Carl Douglas Kung Fu Fighting. You both chose. Mark, you put that at number 4. Jessica, you put number 5. And it was number 15 for the year. So Mark, on your list, you're off by 3. It would be number 7 for you. Jessica, you put it at you put it at 5, and you got it right. It would be 5th to you. That's 1 whole point for getting the right position for your song. All right, we're going to move on to John Denver's Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Let's see, Mark, you put that at 9. Jessica, you put it at 10, pretty close. It was number 11 for the year, which actually you can figure is probably pretty high. So Mark, on your list, that would put it 5th. And Jessica, that would be 4th for you, so no points for Country Boy. All right. The 4th song you both chose was our, this is my hometown theme. It's Elton John's Philadelphia Freedom. Technically, it's not my hometown. Nobody cares about that. I'm from New York, but I live in Philly now, so it's been a long time. So Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John was number 3 for the end of the year. Mark, you put it at 7. Jessica, you put it at number 1. So on both of your lists, it would technically be 2nd. So that means half a point for Jessica, no point for Mark. All right. Next up, we've got Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy, which I remember very well because when we had the record at home, there's a line where he says the dirty sidewalks of Broadway. Me and my sister heard it as dirty socks lying on Broadway. So for years, we sang it like that. Anyway, Rhinestone Cowboy, let's see, Mark, you put it at number 2. Jessica, you put it at number 9. And Mark, this is double for you. It would be number 1 on both of your lists technically, so you get a half a point for putting it 1 position off, but you also got the exact correct number. Rhinestone Cowboy finishes at number 2 for the year, so you get 2 extra points for that.
And just like that, you're in the lead.
Yeah?
I don't. Am I?
It looks like you are.
Wow.
I don't have the
I think I only had
play-by-play,
a point and a half or something.
but there's more. All right, so you each chose 5 songs that the other one did not choose. Okay, so before I get into those songs, I want to give the audience a chance to check out the 50 songs on the list. We put it in the description. If you want to play along, go look at that list, pick 10 songs, and because I'm going to read the actual top 10 at the end of the round, so they can compare that with the songs on the list, see how well they did, tell us how you did, you know. Moving along. All right, so you each got 5 different songs, individual songs on your list, and I'm going to start with Barry Manilow's Mandy. We all remember Mandy, don't we? She came in, she gave without taking, and he sent her away. Mark, you put that at number 1, but you were far off. It was number 36 for the year, so it is 9th on your list. Okay, we're going to go back and forth here. So, Jessica, you've got Elton John's version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which for the longest time I did not know existed until I saw it on one of the, because Billboard, Joel Whitburn makes these pop hits book with the list of all the top 40 songs. Would that have
been from the Sgt. Pepper's movie that had the Bee Gees in it?
Could be. That's so long ago.
I'm trying to recall that song by itself, his version of that.
I don't recall it very well, but apparently it was a big enough hit to make the top 50, and enough for Jessica to put it at number 2. So it was number 35 for the year, which puts it 9th place on your list, Jessica. So no points for that one. Moving back to Mark's list, I've got Van McCoy and the Soul City Symphony. I didn't know about the Soul City Symphony. I just thought they were Van McCoy, and that's The Hustle. And you put it at yep. So you put that at number 10. It finished at number 22 for the year, which puts it 8th on your list. So off by 2 on that one. Let's see. Now we've got Pilot, and the song is called Magic. Remember Magic by Pilot? Oh ho ho, it's magic. That one. This song finished at number 32 for the year. Jessica, you put it at 7. It is officially number 8, so you get half a point. Okay. I'm going to stick with Jessica's list. Right now, we got LaBelle, Lady Marmalade. Very popular song, obviously. Dumb statement, Tim. Anyway, you put that at number 3 on your list. It finished at number 23 for the year, and that makes it 7th, so no points for that one. Also, Jessica, you have The Ballroom Blitz by Sweet, which is, and I remember earlier when you were talking to me about going through these lists, realizing again the diversity in some of the songs. To have a song like Ballroom Blitz be such a big hit, you know, that's what I like about the 70's. Is it's got country, it's got soul, it's got instrumental stuff. You know, that doesn't, not to put down today's music, but it's not like that anymore. You know. I mean, there's some country, but we won't talk about that. So Sweet's Ballroom Blitz was number 17 for the year. Jessica, you put it at number 4, but the position, according to Billboard, puts it at 6 on your list, so no points for that one. Moving back to Mark's list, I've got Bee Gees, Jive Talkin'. Jive Talkin'. And let's see, Jive Talkin' was number 12. In 1975. Mark, you put it at 3, but it finishes at 6. So again, no points for Jive Talkin'. Got 3 songs left. Ready? Hold on, folks. We're almost done. The Eagles, One of These Nights. Mark, you put that on your list at number 5. It was the number 10 song of the year.
Okay, I'm getting closer.
So, according to the 10 songs you chose, it would finish in 4th place. So you get half a point.
All right. Sweet.
All right. You also got Earth, Wind, and Fire's Shining Star. Shining Star was number 7 for the year. You put it at 8, but according to your songs, it actually finishes in 3rd, so no points for Shining Star. And finally, Jessica, you chose Grand Funk Railroad's Some Kind of Wonderful. And according to Billboard, that song is number 6 for the year. You put it in 8th place, but according to your list, it would finish in 3rd place, so no points for Some Kind of Wonderful. All right, so far we got... Mark, you didn't get any in the correct position, but you got 2 off by 1, so you got 1 whole point for that. Jessica, you got 1 correct position and 2 off by 1s, so you got a total of 2. However, Mark, you chose 4 of the correct top 10 songs, so you get an additional 4 points for that. And you also got your 2 points for putting Glenn Campbell in the correct numbered position, so your total is 7 right now. Let's see, Jessica, you chose 3 of the correct top 10 songs, so an additional 3 points for you. No exact positions, so right now you've got a total of 5 points. All right, so based on how many songs you didn't get right, Mark, I got 4 points from you because you got 8 songs off. So I get a half point for each song, so 4 points. And Jessica, you got 3 correct, so that means I get 3.5 points for the 7 you did not. So as it stands, Mark, you are at 7. Jessica, you are at 5. I'm at 7.5. Ding! I'm in the lead by half a point, so you can still beat me. And so now that this is over, let me read the top 10, and our audience can see if they did well with that. So, according to Billboard 1975, the number 10 song was Eagles' One of These Nights. Okay. Number 9, Neil Sedaka, Laughter in the Rain. I don't think either of you chose that?
Nope.
No, okay. Number 8 was David Bowie's Fame, which I'm thrilled to see because David Bowie, I love David Bowie, so I like that he got a top 10 song there, Number 7 was Earth, Wind & Fire's Shining Star. Number 6 is Grand Funk Railroad's Some Kind of Wonderful. Number 5, a song that neither of you picked, Frankie Valli's My Eyes Adored You. This is one of the 45s. Do you know this song at all? Though I never laid a hand on you, my eyes adored you. No, you know that? My parents had that 45. Next we've got Freddie Fender, Before the Next Teardrop Falls. Neither of you picked that? Do you know that?
No.
Okay.
Vaguely, maybe? I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can sing that well enough to, make it clear. Number 3, it's more like...
Or something like that. Maybe.
No.
No? Okay. Guess I'm thinking of something else.
I'll be there before the last teardrop falls. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Number 3 is Elton John's Philadelphia Freedom. Woo! No, but seriously. Number 2 is Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy. And the number 1 song, I'm shocked that neither of you picked this. I don't think either of you picked this. Captain and Tennille's Love Will Keep Us Together. So, all right, well, that's the end of round 1. And we're going to move on to round 2, which is the multiple choice trivia round. How this works is we're going to ask a series of questions. Jessica and I will each ask 3 questions that will be worth 1 point for whoever gets it right. And whoever gets it wrong will give a half a point to the person asking the question. Then we're going to move on to the bonus round where Mark will answer. You're going to answer a question, Mark.
I'm going to answer you a question.
And we'll ask her it. Anyway, Mark's question is worth 3 whole points for those of us who get it right. And or if Jessica and I get it right, we get 3 points. But if we get it wrong, if either of us get it wrong, Mark gets a point and a half. So if we both get it wrong, Mark gets a full 3 points. And then at the end of the round, we will see where the points stand and move on to round 3. First question. Frankie Valli reached the top of the U.S. charts in 1975 with My Eyes Adored You. According to the song's opening verse, in which grade was the singer when he experienced puppy love? Yeah. I didn't know this, to be honest with you, even though I really do like the song. So here are your choices. A is 6th grade. B is 1st grade. C is 5th grade. Or D, 7th grade. Got your answers ready?
Yeah.
Reveal your answers. So Jessica said B, Mark says D, and you're both wrong. The answer is 6th grade A. Which means that I get a half point from each of you. Is that how we're doing? Right, I think so. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yay. All right, so now we're moving on to question number 2. In 1975, David Bowie's song Fame climbed to the top of the U.S. singles charts. Which ex-Beatle assisted Bowie in the recording of Fame? A is Paul McCartney, B is Pete Best, C is Ringo Starr, or D, John Lennon. You have your answers? Mm-hmm. Let's see your answers. Mark says A, Jessica says A. The correct answer is D, John Lennon. I'm just gonna
that was my second guess.
Yeah, understandably. Just making sure I'm not smoking crack here. Nope, that's correct. All right.
I was going to say Guy Smiley.
Because sometimes I'll look at the answers and I'm like, really? Is that the right answer? Shouldn't you know that your questions? All right, so now I get a whole point. Thanks to both of you for not getting it right.
Man, we are stinking.
All right, third question from me. Where am I here? Okay. Olivia Newton-John achieved a top 10 hit with her 1975 song, Please Mr. Please. According to the lyrics, which selection did the singer beg the jukebox user not to play? All right, your choices. Oh, this is going to be complicated because all of the letters. A is D23. I'm sorry, I just realized.
Oh no!
Right?
Do I need my protractor for this?
If you get confused and need to know which is which, just ask me. I'll tell you.
Just answer C for all of them.
What's that? Yeah.
Just guess C for everything you don't know.
So the first one, D23 is the first one.
But that's A.
Yes, A is D23. B is A17. I know.
I mean, darn shucks.
C is B17.
Gosh.
And D is C23.
I think you sank my battleship.
No, sorry.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, you got your answers?
Sure.
Let's see those answers.
okay.
Mark says B, Jessica says C, and Jessica is correct. B17. It was our song. It was his song, she says. All right, so that means that Jessica gets a full point, and because Mark did not get it right, I get a half a point, so there we go. All right, so Jessica, it is your turn to read us your questions, and hopefully you'll be able to catch up with me, because right now I'm kind of kicking butt.
Yeah. Hey, 1975, the movie Jaws was released. It became notably one of the first blockbuster films, and at the time of its release, became the highest grossing film of all time. Also, Saturday Night Live debuted on NBC this year, and Betamax and VHS were first introduced.
Wow.
For those youngins out there, that's a video cassette recording system format, so, you know, in case you
Way
don't know what
before
those are.
streaming happened, yeah.
Yep. Physical media. All right. We've got 3 trivia questions here. Question 1. The first rock music awards, produced by Don Kirshner, was held in Los Angeles, co-hosted by Elton John and Diana Ross. Who won Outstanding Rock Personality of the Year? Was it A, Blue Oyster Cult, B, Elton John, C, David Bowie, or D, Chicago?
I'm torn between 2 of them, and one feels like a trick question.
Got your answer?
Yeah, I got my answer.
Okay. And both of you say C. The answer is actually B, Elton John.
I thought that was the trick question answer. It's like he's hosting. How can he give himself an award?
All
Wow.
right. Yeah, well, you know.
So that means you get a full point. You get a full point, thanks to our failure in answering the question. All right, on to your second question. Go ahead.
This artist appears on the covers of both Time and Newsweek magazines on the same week. Is it A, Led Zeppelin, B, Queen, C, Michael Jackson, or D, Bruce Springsteen?
Okay. Done process of elimination based on the year, so I hope I get this right.
Okay, let's see. Mark says A, Tim says B, but the answer is D, Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. Fair enough.
I went from first place or second place to no place.
Just gets another punt.
A pont?
Yes.
On New Year's Eve, this artist performed before the biggest audience of his career at Pontiac, Michigan's Silverdome. During the show, he ripped his pants on stage and had to leave to change. Who was it? A, Freddie Mercury, B, Bruce Springsteen, C, Elvis Presley, D, Alice Cooper.
Okay. That's tough, but I'm having fun imagining each of these people ripping their pants and, you know.
Oh, my pants!
Damn it, son of a bitch! I honestly don't know with this one, so I'm winging it right now.
Okay.
All right, what's yours say? You both say D, but the answer is C, Elvis Presley.
One for the money, a 2 for the... Oh, my pants!
You know, and it's funny, because before you read that question, I was thinking, if Elvis is one of the choices, I'm just going to go for that, and I didn't, because it was in Michigan, and I don't know why that was significant to Alice Cooper, but anyway, you get another full point. You got 3 full points, because we were terrible at this round. So, that leaves Mark's bonus question. I didn't skip it this time.
All right.
So go ahead and explain how your question works, and then tell us your question.
Well, this is the bonus question. It's one question, sometimes true or false, sometimes a multiple choice, sometimes you have to get out a calculator. It's worth 3 points if you get it right, and if you get it wrong, I get 1.5 points. So here's a chance for me to make up some points, hopefully. So this is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
I've done a similar question before. It's based upon number one TV show of the year.
All right.
So I will give you. So this was the number one most popular TV show of 1975.
Huh.
Number one. So your choices are A, Happy Days. B, Laverne and Shirley. C, All in the Family. Or D, Maude. Answers, please.
Hold on. I need a second here.
Here's which one I think it is and which one that it probably was. If that makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get this wrong.
Show me your answers.
Yep.
You both chose
C.
C, and you are both correct.
Wow!
All in the
All
Family was, in fact, the number one ranked song, followed by number
Sure.
two,
TV show?
TV show, sorry, Rich Man, Poor Man, which I don't recall at all.
I do not know.
Number 3 was Laverne and Shirley. Number 4 was Maude. Number 5 was the Bionic Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6, Phyllis. Number 7,
Phyllis.
Sanford and Son. Number 8, Rhoda. Number 9, The $6 Million Man. And number 10 was Happy Days.
Wow, I'm glad I didn't pick Happy Days.
Yeah, that was the
my
one
second choice. Yeah.
Same.
So, wow, okay. So as it stands now, I guess, Mark, you realize you totally blew any chance of having a lead at that.
I'm done.
Because we got 3 points each. And right now, Mark, you got 7. Jessica, you have 12 points, and I'm in the lead with 13. So you can still beat me by 1 probably. But before we go on, I have to pee really badly. All right, so now we're getting to our favorite part of the game, round 3, which we call the nostalgia round. And here's how it works. Basically, we have each chosen one song of the top 50 that best represents a time or a situation where we felt nostalgia for something in the past. And what we're going to do is tell you what our song is and then explain the story behind it. So we each have 5 points allotted to us that we get to give to the other 2 based on how well, how good the story is or how well they told it. So we can split it up. You can give all 5 points to one person. You can do 2.5 or however you want to do it. Once we got that done, we'll add those to the score and we'll see who wins the game. All right?
Yeah.
Do you have your nostalgia songs ready to go?
I do.
All right. I'm going to go first just because my song I don't really have a very strong pick here. Maybe you'll disagree, but the song I chose was Van McCoy's The Hustle. For a silly reason, and that is basically because of the influence it had on our song, The Monty Shuffle. And what got me about The Hustle is, and it wasn't just The Hustle, but a lot of songs during this time, disco songs, or there's a lot of they were actually mostly like pro self-expression songs. Do it till you're satisfied, do it till you're this, and do it this way and that way and this way. And The Hustle has a chant where they keep saying do it over and over and over. And my silly mind, as I'm listening to it after a while, I'm like, stop telling me what to do, man. So that kind of, I incorporated that into the Monty Shuffle because we have the chant where, they start saying do it, and it sounds aggressive. So, I changed it to do it and nobody gets hurt, And so basically, whenever I hear that song, which still happens from time to time, it makes me laugh because I just think of that whole era. Now other songs that have do it in there, it's just stop it, man, stop, because I'm a goofball. And it contributed greatly to making the Monty Shuffle what it is, basically. And that is why I chose The Hustle by Van McCoy. All right, simple story, nothing too dramatic, but fun stuff. All right, I'm done. Who's up next? Volunteers, anyone?
I'll go last since I'm in last place for points, so Jess.
Okay, go ahead, Jessica.
I was about to volunteer anyway. So I may break the rules slightly.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to share 2 small stories because I picked 2 songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the first, just because I couldn't pick, these are, I wanted to pick both, but I couldn't choose one of the other.
Okay.
So one would be Rhinestone Cowboy, and the memory that goes along with this, the memory that's conjured is from a time, the memory that conjured this was from a time when there were very few entertainment options for road trips, and you'd sit in the car for hours and hours going somewhere.
Oh, you mean during the trip?
Yeah, without any toys, without, we didn't have devices back then. You could either talk to each other, stare out the window, and listen to music, and that was pretty much all you could do.
Yeah.
Talking to each other, you could play the alphabet game or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think we even had like portable things that you could take with you at the time in the 70s. No.
I remember having something like the Merlin or something like that, which was I don't remember when I had that there. I want to think it was around this time, like late 70s. But regardless, this is the environment, and Rhinestone Cowboy was one of the few, if not only, songs that when it would come on the radio, everybody would just belt out and sing along to the song.
Okay.
So that was just one of the like a highlight, of those types of trips. Anyway, so that's one. Second one is Ballroom Blitz. The first time I heard the song that I recall was when Guitar Hero first came out, and it was one of the songs. And embarrassingly, I got turned on to music that was the first time I heard that was in that game. But regardless, I'm glad it happened, and Ballroom Blitz was one of the songs that I just loved it so much, and just objectively, just personally. And then doing this show, when I found out that it was from 1975.
Yeah, that's always weird.
It's like, what? It sounded so modern to me when I first heard it. I was like, oh, this sounds kind of punky, So, why that's nostalgic is because Guitar Hero was so fun. Yeah. It was like a new kind of way to connect to music, and it was because of that game that I started to develop my ear. Okay. Because up until that point, I would hear a song as the composite. Okay, yeah. Whereas when I started playing the game, initially it was guitar, and then they came out with Rock Band, but it helped me develop my ear so that I could hear individual instruments more than I had ever before, because I'm trying to play along and reproduce that. Now, I'm not saying Guitar Hero playing that well is anything like being a real guitarist. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that it was a game that just helped my brain kind of click and lock on to those pieces parts that come together to make music. And because of that, I gained an enormous appreciation for the music, because I could hear it in different ways, and I could focus and listen to different things. So Ballroom Blitz is one, if not the only, one of the very few songs that really connects me to that experience of hearing music in a new way.
Cool.
As a well-established adult.
So when you hear Ballroom Blitz, you think of Guitar Hero and all the things you got from that. So embarrassingly, because you mentioned that you didn't hear that song until you started playing Guitar Hero. Okay, well, I had never heard of that song either, and the first time I knew it existed was because Tia Carrere did a version of that song. I forget, she might have been in Wayne's World when she did it.
It was for Wayne's World.
It was for Wayne's World, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was a remake? Like, I knew it was a remake, but I didn't know what band it was from, and that I had never actually heard the song, and I went back and didn't know it was such a big hit either, really, until I started doing these charts. I was like, holy, how did I miss this, There's always songs like that you just totally miss. All right, cool. So you got two little stories there. I think they both were pretty good. I think they're better than mine. All right, Mark, regale us with your tale.
All right, and mine's kind of a two-parter as well, but it's still based around the same song. So the first part of the story comes from being a young kid, being home from school because I was sick or something. And what do you do when you're a young kid in the 80s, home from some school? You watch TV all day, and so I would watch whatever syndicated shows would come on that were from days of past, and of course, which grew to end up being one of my favorite shows, and still kind of is from that time, was What's Happening.
Oh yeah.
Which Roger and Rerun
and Dwayne Wayne,
and ooh, I'm gonna tell Mama.
D. Shirley Hempel.
And so, and one of my all-time favorite episodes is the episode with the Doobie Brothers, when some, I guess, I don't know what they were, scalpers or bootleggers, like stiff-armed, the gang into bootlegging the Doobie Brothers concert, and Rerun. So he's wearing like a full-on trench coat with a full-size tape recorder, and he's got it stuffed into his jacket.
Yeah.
And so typical TV world, they're in the front row of the concert, of course. Jamming out, and Rerun loses track of he gets caught up in the moment. He's dancing, and the recorder falls out of his jacket and onto the floor, and the whole concert stops. like the Doobie Brothers stops the concert.
Legend.
Singling him out, and then of course Doobie Brothers raises to the challenge and supports them and understands what happened, and so that just tickled me so much. And so the song was Blackwater.
Okay.
And honestly, now I can't remember if they actually performed that song in that episode or not, but I'm sure they probably did, because obviously probably why I picked it. The second part of my story comes some years later in high school, and one of my high school best friends, Dave, we would oftentimes, when we'd be drinking beer when we weren't supposed to,
I don't know what you mean.
There's a part of that song where it's like, take you by the hand, take you by the hand, pretty mama, dance with your daddy all night long. We would sing that part, but we stuck in a loop, and it would go on for hours.
I had that same experience.
Hours and hours. We'd be like, by the time we're half in the bag and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, we're like still screaming at each other, take me by the hand, take me by the hand. And so when I think of that, I immediately think of Dave, and I think of those moments in during high school when we'd be sneaking beer somewhere and using our fake ID to buy beer and hang out and drink and have a good time and be stupid. That song always was.
And you get stuck in a Blackwater loop.
Yeah, we get stuck in a Blackwater loop, and I still do when I think of that song. So.
Well, it's like that Yes song. I've seen all good people. I've seen all good people turn their heads. You say so satisfied. I'm on my way. And they just do it a little lower. Seen all good people. Yeah, I used to keep doing that until my voice was too low to sing, just because if you forget as a kid, you don't think about all the details of the song. You don't think about counting how many rounds there are before it actually ends.
Right.
That's how you remember it over and over. Right. I still think of Dream On's Aerosmith. Like the chorus, I can just go over and over in my head and not get to the verses. So that's how your mind works sometimes.
Well, again, in previous episodes I've shared, I can attach memories to each of your all nostalgic picks as well, and conjure the time when I maybe first heard those songs, or when those songs came through my listening, because there's especially in these formative years when being so into music and starting to play an instrument from a young age, like I just would, when I hear something good, no matter what genre or who it was, when it was from, it was a good song, and I would listen to it and play it to death, So good stuff. Yeah, that's my song, Blackwater.
All right. So now we all got our stories out, and we have to divvy up our points. So we all thought about the decisions and what points you want to give. Do we need a second to think about that? Because
I think I'm good.
All right, cool. So why don't you go first then, Mark?
All right. Okay. So I'm going to give 2 points to Jessica for her Rhinestone Cowboy story, and 1 point for her Ballroom Blitz story. And of course, then I will give 2 points to Tim for your Hustle story.
Thank you.
I tried not to, my bias towards Monty Shuffle, because that is a big song for us. I mean, it is, after all, the theme for this show, right?
The video is on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll put it somewhere in one of the corners that you can click on it and watch it. But so that's my points. I give 3 total points to Jessica and 2 to you, Tim.
Okay. All right, Jessica, would you like to give your points out, please?
Sure. I would like to split my points evenly.
Ooh, all right.
Because I do want to give Tim a half a point for that mention of Monty Shuffle. So,
okay, cool.
Otherwise, I'd probably lean over to Mark, but again, wanted to award that half point. So, love both very much.
All right. So for me, it was kind of it was tough but easy at the same time. First of all, you both gave 2-parter nostalgia stories, which because it feels more balanced that way right now. Even though you had one song, but you had 2 stories, you had 2 stories, 2 different songs, and it was tough because the whole point is nostalgia. And you both gave me plenty of nostalgia, I think. For example, Brian Stone Cowboy will make you think of, sitting in the car with your family and having everyone belt out the song. You also got Ballroom Blitz will remind you of those Guitar Hero days. And you had plenty of, background for Blackwater there. So I chose to split my points as well. So you're each getting 2.5 points from me, which, Mark, that brings you up to, if I'm doing my math correctly, 12 points. And Jessica, that brings you up to 17.5. So, this is a first. We have a tie. Well, Jessica and I are both tied at 17.5 points. So now, we haven't mentioned this yet.
No, we a tiebreaker.
I know. So we have to bring out the tiebreaker rule here that we haven't had to mention yet because we haven't had a tie. And basically,
I forgot we had a tiebreaker rule.
We did. And the rule, if I recall correctly, is that whoever is in the lead after the first 2 rounds gets to decide the tiebreaker. So that means if you're in the lead, you can pick yourself. You can give it to somebody else. If you're not in the lead, you get to decide which of the 2 were in the lead. And unfortunately for the both of you, I was in the lead in the last round. So I get to pick the winner, and that's me. Woo! Right. Seems terribly unfair. All right, so as far as the prize goes, we're doing something a little different this time. We've got our prize jar, or as he is known in Irish, jar of prizes. And basically, we've got different suggestions in these papers here, and so whoever wins at the end of each episode will pull one out, and they get the prize that's listed on it. You ready to see what the prize is?
So go ahead and pick your prize.
Yes.
Prize picker.
Shuffling around a little bit here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Do the shuffle.
All right, let's see what we got. Okay. Just like, really? Well, basically, the prize is you both have to give me a royal bow and refer to me as Your Highness.
Ooh.
Alrighty. Doesn't say how long, I guess until, I don't know, right now. Maybe I don't know. Just, well, yeah, so.
Congratulations, Tim, Your Highness.
Your Highness, or Highnesses, and Heinz 57.
Thank you, my royal subjects. It's been a pleasure.
All right, well, there you go.
So before we close the show, a couple things. We've talked about a lot of music here, but unfortunately we can't play it because of YouTube restrictions. So Mark's going to tell us about Spotify and Apple Music and things of that, John. I used that word wrong, but go ahead.
John it up. So yes, we would love nothing more than to be able to freely play all the songs that we're talking about on these episodes, but we don't have the money to pay for the licensing to do so.
Not yet.
So maybe in the year 27 to 42 we will have that money. But for now, so what we've all done, because again, music is such a big thing for us, and outside of our productions and shows and things that we're working on, when we hang out, we're always listening to music, building playlists. And so what we did was we each picked our favorite songs from the top 50 list for this year's episode of 1975, and then I created a playlist that we share in the description of this episode for either Spotify or Apple Music. It's whatever you prefer. So you can go and listen and check out some old classics. Maybe you'll hear some new favorites. Lots of great songs on that playlist, and they're in the description there. And we hope you enjoy it. And we'll be back.
All right, good. Also, if I may shamelessly promote myself, if you're into reading sci-fi books, I've got one on Amazon Kindle. It's $5 if you got $5 to throw away and a weekend to waste some time in. It is, as one reader described it, it is a sci-fi coming-of-age story with a bit of cosmic horror, and I think it's a pretty apt way to put it. So if you're into that kind of thing, check it out. It's called Evergreen Choose Happiness. Aside from that, anybody have anything else to add before we go?
Then just, that link will also be in the description for your book.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be links all throughout the video for some of our other videos. Check out our website. Please like
Yes.
the video. Post us your comments. Tell us what you think.
Yeah,
tell us what your
us.
nostalgia picks were.
Yes.
We want to hear from you.
If you have a nostalgia story, please let us know what that is.
Share it with us, because at some point we hope to have the mechanism to be able to share these stories. Either on a future episode. We're already starting to plan special one-off episodes outside the typical, certain year, certain decade thing. So we'll hopefully have an opportunity to share some stories and talk about that. And
all right. In the meantime, if you enjoy the show, please hit like, subscribe, share, show everybody this awesome new podcast you found, and then show them ours. Anyway, good night, everybody. On behalf of Mark and Jessica from Trimongus, I am Tim. I hope you had a good time. See you next episode.
see y'all.
Roll out.